podcasters, guys and gals, back with another exciting podcast that y'all can either watch or listen in your car. Or anywhere, honestly, on the radio, on this, on that. I'm still working on that whole putting on streaming devices, like Apple and all that, because, I like listening to Apple Music and stuff. I don't really use Spotify. It has to take too much of my money terms. Anyways, so I'm going to. You guys have met this guest, my great aunt. But I'm gonna let my guests introduce themselves today, and the topic that we're going to discuss.
You go first. You were introduced first, Mickey.
Well, my name is Mickey Vale. I am a hip hop artist and a playwright, and do a whole bunch of art stuff. And I'm happy to be here for the second time. Thank you for having me, Lamont.
Oh, you're great. I mean, you're.
I agree. Thank you.
I third the motion. Hi, I'm Laura Z. I'm a theater artist, and I do a lot of community arts programs. And I'm very excited to be here for the first time. And I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm very happy to be here for the first time. Woo.
And it's so great because you were the one who gave me this and deal of wanting to do this, my book talks and all this stuff, right? So if y'all want to know about my books, that's up to y'all. But my talks is we're going to be talking about artists, like what you find at a museum, right? But this is reflecting off of y'all. What do y'all think about art?
What do you think about art?
Art is something that I feel like when it's just sort of talked about casually, like art, which is how people talk sometimes. Like it can be sort of like vague or general or like kind of hard to understand the value of. But then I feel like through so much of my work and my experience, getting to be a part of making art or getting to facilitate spaces for other people to make art, I've seen in really specific ways and in really tangible ways how meaningful it is and how much heart it gives people in really important ways, and how much fun it can be, and how powerful it can be, and how important it can be, and how it can literally change lives and change communities and change families. And so I think I'm a big fan of art. I'm a big fan of art. I'm a really big fan of art, and a lot of that just comes from like having moments of seeing that play out. That's what I think about art. What do you think about art, Mickey?
I feel a lot of the same. I'm a big fan, hence the reason I'm an artist. I too have I'm not only seen but witnessed personally, experienced personally the transformative power of art. How it gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of belonging. If you are, creating with other people, it builds community. It does a lot of really wonderful things, and I'm a big fan. Hopefully you can hear me over the crinkling of the wrapper.
I was like, huh?
Yeah, peanut butter cup number 2. Remember the next one.
But
well, now I'm jealous.
I see what y'all saying.
I know.
I see what y'all saying. What? Jealous of what? The Reese's?
Yeah.
Y'all could have had some.
No, it's okay. I'm just. I want, but I don't want.
I only got
Mickey's allergic to peanuts, so don't let her have any, please.
I was like, I just gave her some.
What?
I just gave her some. She was like, I'm good with Reese's, But, see, what I like about art is, and it's crazy because when I was growing up, I used to love writing books. But at first, it would be the copyright, it would be like, oh, Marley and Me. And that's what I started off with. And then I did Little Captain Underpants. But then I put a little twist. But then after a while, I was like, I gotta start thinking of my own creation, my own stuff. So So book writing has been with me since I want to say I think elementary school. I want to say, but art is everywhere. What you see on this nice shirt, y'all can see.
Yeah, we gotta get
My
that.
YouTube shirt, you know, and then the back is the podcast. Oh, but I ain't just showing it to y'all. So in case y'all watch the video, if y'all don't watch it and y'all just listen, it's okay. I put it on all social medias, you know. But you know what you see on shirts is art. You know, designs, this and that is art. You know, music is a form of art because you express your emotions or your feelings through music sometimes, or you just make random stuff up. You know, who knows? Some artists just do that. But I don't know. I want to say though, acting came. Yes, I want to say it came through YouTube, podcast, whatever. But it definitely came when I was inspired. But when you took me to a show, I felt the goosebumps, and I was like, "This is what I want to do. It's the spotlight." You know. The only thing I just have to say is it's just the memorizing the lines for me. You know, like how y'all do that? Like if you're a main character, how y'all memorize the lines so great? I know you do acting, and you're just like a playwright. So you're like, yeah, I'll be in it or not. But I direct music for you.
How do you memorize the lines?
The way that I used to memorize lines is I would write them down a lot. I would write them and I would just write them down in chunks, like just part of a sentence. Not even like just the first part of an idea, and the second it changed, I would stop writing it, so I just got that idea. And then I'd write the next part and formulate in my head like what the difference in that idea was, like writing for comprehension and reading for comprehension. And I would just write it a whole bunch, and then I'd rip out different scenes or different monologues on a piece of paper and keep them with me in my pocket. And whenever I was like in the grocery store waiting in line or something, I'd pull it out, or walking somewhere, I'd be going over it in my head. Or at the time I would go to the gym, and then I would be on the elliptical machine and trying to just like focus on the memorization while my body's in motion. So trying to like just go over it a bunch of times. But I hear from from actors that it's like a muscle, where if the more you do it, the easier it gets. So it's not like the first time you memorize a whole bunch of lines is going to feel different than if every 5 months you're starting to work on a whole other show with a whole other set of lines, and then you get better at it with time. So I think you practice just like anything, I think.
What's the 10,000 hour theory, that anybody who has become or is a professional at something like Michael Jordan, we just see the result of all his practice, but anyone who has really dedicated themselves to any type of craft, they've put in at least 10,000 hours of practice to be able to make it look as effortless as they do when we see them.
You know, like my video editing.
Yeah, you have a lot of hours of practice.
I really didn't. I just had to learn on the fly. And I was like, I mean, it's not a bad thing to do. But, you know, I am going to school for my acting. But honestly, that school offers a lot, from acting to I want to be a screenwriter. You know, if they don't think my face is too pretty enough to be on the screen. And at least my creations could be out there. You know, like yours. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing video editing because I feel like it'd be easy, and then you can put your own twist to it, this and that. But I like doing YouTube. Honestly, it gives me a lot of inspiration. It gets my excitement up there. Even if I have a bad day in the military, you know, the next day I do a little video or shoot something, and then I'm like, oh, I can't wait for y'all to go out there and see this creation I did. Too bad I don't get many views. But we're not gonna get into that. So
that's really beautiful though, just the idea that like the process, even aside from the product, like the process of doing it is something that you love. Just spending that time for you, even before it's for anybody else, that it makes you happy.
Oh yeah, I've been told by like lots of YouTubes or other people like I had this thing and I would start to get discouraged. Not discouraged to stop doing it, but discouraged of I just don't feel like people like me. Or whatever it is, because it was like one of those like, you know, I wanted to start it and then was expecting myself to, But if I started posting and I posted more, maybe my views will go up. And it'll be more crazy. And it'll be more crazy. But it hasn't. So, but like, you know, for example, everyone knows who Trey Rags is. I don't expect y'all to know.
I know. I was like, so we're nobody, is what you're saying.
Everybody except y'all.
Right.
I mean, y'all like keep y'all, but y'all so busy with your own lives that like, you know, you don't always have time for TikToks and all that stuff, right? He's a TikToker, at least I know, right? But he did YouTube, but he was like, you know, back then in like 2017 or whenever he started, it wasn't popping for him. Like his friends, they would support him or whatever. He get maybe 50 views, 100 views, maybe this and that. But as time developed, and I think COVID was the main like the really main, like if you weren't nobody then, I think when COVID hit, you really sprouted up. If you were already doing it, like I noticed I started doing it during COVID and a little after it, and it's just kind of like, yeah, no, you just now started this because TikTok is a thing now. But we've seen people who's been doing this hasn't really popped off. And now we're going to give them, obviously, the views, because ain't nobody doing nothing.
Well, yeah, during COVID, everybody was in one place at home looking for entertainment, was constantly searching for entertainment.
So.
And so, yeah, if people were already doing something, then that was their time to shine, because everybody was looking for something to keep them entertained.
Oh, who's there? Oh, he's almost in frame. Almost, not quite.
He's too big. But,
In the video?
Come on, girl.
But, no, yeah, and now
On the couch.
he's got, what, 1 million views or something like that? Or 1 million subscribers or something?
1 million?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Hey, Pharaoh.
It is. But, like, he's one of those, like, he doesn't mind being a big star, but, you know, some people like Zendaya. You know, it just depends on how you do things. Like I was told yesterday by one of the nice young actors when y'all took me to one of their plays. She was like, what you got right there, which I'm pointing to y'all, the phone, is the most powerful weapon. Because this is how you could start doing your own stuff, create your own stuff, and then your stuff will eventually be out there. Just either keep promoting it, or somebody's going to see it, and then it's going to start being big. You know, because like I know a friend that's in the military, right? He's part of my friend group. But when he posts stuff, right, it's very short, it's simple. But I'm just distracted by this cat. But he keeps it short. He keeps it simple. But he gets a lot of views or likes or whatever. And I tell him like he should honestly, you know, do this and that. But he says he doesn't want to.
Maybe he just likes the process too. Maybe it's just the process makes him happy. The process of doing it. Like you.
I know, but me, I'm just trying to be big. But I know it's going to take time. I know I don't expect it to hit, but I expect in the next few years that probably my stuff is going to start getting seen, and then it's going to start kicking off, and then it'll be like, oh. But I know I do have to work on my thumbnails for my YouTube and this and that, so that's why it'll be so much better when I'm out of the military, because I do have so much YouTube videos planned for you guys then, and for the world to see and all that. Especially one of them, but I definitely gotta wait until I'm out of the military so that they don't try to be like, oh, he's trying to, you know, this and that. Or I get myself in big trouble. Like once you're out of the military, then you can say whatever you want to say. But that's besides the point, you know? So here's my question to y'all is, right, like I said, it was inspiration from me writing my book. The YouTube kind of, I guess, grew into it because I wanted to honestly study into bugs and stuff. I think that chocolate is toxic, or this little cat fur is toxic. I'm just kidding. But what is, I know you started early. Your music and all that stuff, you said you started early. But what made you get into art?
Laura.
I think. I think I always loved books. I always loved books, and I would read a whole bunch, and then I would journal a whole bunch, and I think poetry was always something that came naturally to me in my, like childhood journal. Yeah, just writing and storytelling. I think it came from books. I think it came from loving books, and then like that, just like the words and the stories and the imagination elements of that, and that, I think that was the seed of it all. And then once theater became something that I was more aware of around middle school, a little before that, but really middle school is where I started to be like, I'm gonna step into this. It was just so fun, and it was something that I felt like there are always characters that are not the cute ones. Like I was not an ingenue type, like the leading lady, like cutesy little girl, damsel in distress, whatever. So, but there would be a character like the hermit in freshman year of high school, or the genie, or stuff that was like super silly, not supposed to be cutesy, and everybody else, or a lot of other people, were too shy to do it and really do it all the way and go ham with it. But I wasn't, and so it was a place where I could shine because no one else wanted to do it, or be like super ridiculous, or wear a really unflattering costume, or look super not cute. So that was fun, to be able to be good, like stand out at something and be good at something. That was sort of unique and very fun, because then I'm not trying to look cool and I'm not trying to look good. I'm just having a good time. And it takes a lot of pressure off also, I feel like. That's where I got started. Where did you get started? Lamont?
I just said mine.
It was like
Inspiration from her.
Oh.
And then, well, inspiration as in when she took me to the plays.
Right.
Because I've yet to see your actual play itself.
Yeah.
Or whatever she's created. I've listened to her music. We all know I have her shirt and stuff. So, for sure I know that. But me, yeah. It was when I was young. I did my book writing. This and this and that. But now, it's been more stronger. And it's been more, more powerful. I just have to find a way to actually get it published and get it out to the public instead of just putting it online. Because I know not a lot of elders has online stuff. But if I can get it a way to like where kids can, well, I don't know, because some of my books actually get broken. The detective series can, because I'll keep that PG. But
How many books do you have done?
currently right now, 3.
Wow.
It's the first Monkey Man, which is always a twist and nice connection, because like, yes, I know I said that it comes from like a game in a way, but of course, you put your own twist to it and stuff. But I've always made it a tie, because the first one, I didn't really have a major enemy, but I kind of made it like where, and I can say it now because the book's been out, but, and I think I did talk about it on my YouTube, but I might have deleted it though. Basically the summary is, I got selected to be Monkey Man, but me being in the military, I kind of went, in my scenario, I went AWOL, meaning like, you go missing for a little bit, and to like get trained up in this and that, and the whole thing is kind of like Green Lantern, like, you get selected by the lead monkey, who thinks you're worthy and this and that, but it's to also bring peace. Me growing up, my mom said I was always peaceful. I never really started fights. I was never really chaotic or anything. I might have had my sassy moments, sarcastic moments, but it's okay. But but like, if everyone's read the second book, there was an original Monkey Man that was all about peace. I kind of put a twist to where people have grown up, things have changed, and a lot of things have happened. Where I can't say this world is the peaceful world that was, let's say, 6-7 years ago when I was in school, right? Because I didn't have all that chaoticness, and I didn't have to worry about a job and all that stuff. But so the first one was really just me facing my best friend that I knew from Oxnard High. And then I ended up helping my mom and my siblings with the dad situation when he was trying to be a villain. I kind of helped them with that. The second one, I put a twist because I actually made that more of a zodiac and this and that. And I know like it's at first it seemed like I was so crazy into zodiacs, but the more I thought about it, and I did my research. I was still gonna do my book, but like in the end of the day, I was like, yeah, zodiacs. I don't believe in it, but not everybody is 100% that zodiac, because they don't always have that same trait. So I found that out like some time ago, like a few years ago, when I was still in Georgia. But I basically did a zodiac, but then I was like, I need to kind of add it a little extra to give it a little extra oomph. So I decided, let me put one of my high school crushes from Granite Hills into it. And monkeys also have predators. So I was like, I have to do some type of a wildcat. But it's hard to pick it because it was like, there's black cat, there's white tiger, there's this, there's that. There's Catwoman. I was like, what can I say for my... I don't think Grey Cougar's been picked. So I picked Grey Cougar. Cougar because of the mascot from our school. And Grey because black and white. You mix it together, what color you get? Great. That's what she was. She was black and white though too. So now there's that. Monkey Man 3 is going to take after my mom's book, which is Lene. So basically now we are going to enter a thing called Dark Phase, which is, your little evil stuff like witches, vampires, werewolves, all that stuff. Whatever stuff I actually feel fitting though, So like I know the first one is my mom, which is Lene. I did do a little story sneak peek on social media. So knowing her, she loves her witches, she does this and that. I made up a storyline for that now. She will be facing another witch who, because of some real life events, it would have been great to have my dad in there help her. But when stuff happens, you're like, oh. Like Black Panther, how they did Black Panther 2. The real Black Panther died, so they said, well, we're going to honor him. But now the show has to continue on. So, sucks to suck. She's going to end up having the book of him dying. But, of course, he'll be honored.
Wait, you can't tell a story. You can't give a story away.
I know, huh? A little spoilers.
Spoilers, gotta cut this part out.
I mean, it's already on my thing, though. I do need to work on my, not trying to tell y'all too much type thing,
Made you feel like, I need to write, or I need to put something, like I need to put pen on this paper, I need to like type it out, or whatever it is. Where does that come from for you?
So, and I know I'm probably gonna have to get asked questions, because if I do make it big, it will be questions like that. I want to say, honestly, my inspiration was one of those, so I would kind of blame my childhood for this one. I didn't have all the technology that everyone had. I didn't have all the little, if I had a tablet, if I had this. Because trust me, if I grew up different, or if I grew up with technology, I probably never would be this. I probably would just be a normal, average person that would just want to live a boring life. But because it's always me reading books, or me watching movies and this and that, and then it's like, or it's interesting when I read books and I'm like, imagine if I put my own twist to it. Right? And it just developed over time. But it's always one of those, like, we wouldn't really do too much. So my sis would be at the table. She'd have a little coloring book or whatever that she had. And I'd just be sitting there with a piece of paper. And I'd just be like, I start coloring. Then I'd be like, right. But another thing is, and I'm going to, this is a major secret from me. Ooh.
Wait, is it a spoiler? This is another spoiler, like a big spoiler?
No, it's a secret that I'm about to confess from my life.
Oh my goodness.
Is I do have autism. So because I have that, I tend to have a little thing that I tend to do when I rock my head. And I really had it super bad when I was little. So like I would do a picturing of my own version of a movie or my own version of a film. Because I think the first character that I started was, I wanted to say, he's sleeping. It's Z Animals, where it was like supposed to be a comedian, and it was like a little girl, but like it was always like around Christmas that I always thought about it, and I was like, if I can make this book, maybe it'd get famous. Now, of course, I'm a little kid, so I had this like really high dream of if I write this book and then on my book, 'cause it's like James Patterson or whatever, and it gets out in the world, everyone can have this great Christmas book. 'Cause technically, what the thing was is, and it was so makeshift. It was so badly sci-fi. Like it was one of those. The mom was like, "I'm gonna give you some animals, some pets. You really want some pets, but you know how little girls are. Oh, I don't want no normal pet like a dog or a cat. I want this pet, that. You know." So it consists of a deer. I think I want to say a lion and something else. I think like an elephant or something, but I forgot what it was. Right. But I forgot if it was from a cartoon or something that I kind of started like meshing it together. But I called it Z Animals. I don't know if that came from Dad, like 'cause his name, or just 'cause I just wanted to call it Z Animals. But it was just one of those when the animals would come to the home, and then it was such mischief and this and that. But then I would always, every year I'd always put like a new twist to it, like, oh, she actually had a pig, but the pig gives the animals problems and this and that. It was like kind of like one of those animated cartoons they probably was gonna turn into a cartoon anyways, and then they'd end up doing with Santa Claus and this and that. But sadly, it would have a sad ending because it'd be like, I mean, it was great that you had all these animals, but I mean, they have wrecked the house. So, and I was like, I want them to come back, or I want them to go back to the zoo. This is where their real home is. So, but I think that was their first original character. Am I doing it now? Probably not, 'cause I have no clue what I'm gonna. I never really processed it. It just the beginning of it, but it was always stuff like that. Like I would be my own superhero, or like when stuff had happened and my mom and my dad would argue, we never got to finish a movie. I'd imagine them finishing the movie in my own version. But that was just me, and that's just how my autism worked. I don't have it as bad now. Like everyone says, it's on a really low spectrum, which it is. The only thing I still do, but I keep it on the moderate, is the music. When I listen to music, and the way I listen to it in a way. But majority of it now is if I get in deals, it's just do music. So, like after I watch a movie, if I like the movie theme or has like a nice tone to it, that's what gives me deals for my books and stuff. So
That's
now
cool.
it's kind of like
That's really
music
cool.
is the inspiration. I mean movies too, but music is the inspiration.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that.
I know, right? I'm just gonna be such a great actor.
Music. Is it music? Was it Mickey's music that sort of got you stuck
No.
on music?
No.
No.
And not to be mean, but like my dad would barely pay her music. The only music I had to rely off of was the radio. When we finally got our own radio, and that wasn't even music off of that. It was just what's a nice music, and then it was just different, like, 'cause the music genre it has to depend, but because it was my own music, like the only thing is every time my dad would play his music, I would just have like a different story setting. It just depended on the music vibe and this and that. But I didn't really officially get to listen to her music until I want to say close to high school, and then officially when I got into the military. So
Cool. Cool.
I just didn't want you to be so upset, But you know how Dad was with the whole rest in peace, by the way. But you know how he was when he decided to play his little turntables. He did like one of your music, though. He would be repeat on that thing. Which was it, Love? I think it was. He really liked that one.
Nice.
But that's my story. Y'all got to read about my book talks. I mean, hear about my book talks. And what my inspiration was. So, we know who inspired her to do music. Or do we? Do we know who inspired you to do music? What inspired you to do playwright, though?
Do we?
We'll just try to make this kind of like fast, because I don't know what time it is. And I have the worst.
37.
I have the worst eyesight.
Do you wear glasses?
I'm supposed to.
I got into playwriting.
I thought.
I got into playwriting because I took a workshop. I did a workshop. It was free, and I liked it. It was fun, and I enjoyed having we met once a week for 2 hours, and I enjoyed having that concentrated time to focus on one thing because I'm generally doing a lot of different things, and so focusing on one thing can be difficult. So it was nice to have that focused time to work on something, and I just enjoyed it, and I liked the reaction that it got from people. When people would listen at a reading, they laugh really hard. I like making people laugh. So I can kind of say anything I want without it actually coming out of my mouth. So that's fun. Yeah.
So great, so great.
Thanks.
So great, so great. So, quick, I know, right? He just, anyways, so, besides you, did you do any music during your school or no?
Me?
Yeah.
In school? Like elementary school and stuff?
Well, I want to say more like high school. Like for me, because I know some people was, oh, so you got into acting when you were in school. Yeah and no. It might have been actually before your inspiration of plays. I don't know what it really was because I remember I did try to try out for every play in high school, but my teacher was alive first of all, because he said he would always let a senior before they graduate be in the play. Unless it was my dad that might have messed it up a few times, which I think he did it a few times though. I remember my junior year, I tried for almost every play. Did I make any of them? No. Senior, I think I tried like once or twice and he said no. And then there was like another one which he said, which was like if it was a really big main cast, like he would have been like, yeah, I'll put you on it. But I think that one, I think it might have been my dad's fault. I ain't gonna lie, some of my opportunities was snatched by him. I'm just gonna be honest on that one. Cause like when I first had my first basketball game, yeah, he was in the hospital. And then I was like, well, guess I'm not going to school to play that basketball game. So, as much as it sucked, I think majority of my opportunities was kind of like taken. But I did, you know what it actually might have been? Barbizon. Quick little story for y'all. So, my brother already knows. But my brother wasn't big on Barbizon. But my mom took us, when we first got to Apple Valley, took us to a thing called Barbizon, which is basically acting or like a little small class for small kids and see do they like it or not. My sis, I don't think was really much of it. But my sis also has a lot of issues with people. I don't know what it is, but I think she already started making enemies over there. Now, I will say this though. My brother, he had a situation, right? Now, you know, you're coming from a certain city, right? While everyone else is like, oh, I'm Beverly Hills, I'm this and that, I'm better than you, right? Yes, you get that and this and that, of course, right? My brother came from Oxnard, and he was just like, he didn't really like it. For me, I think that's actually what gave the inspiration. So I remember we did one of the exercises, and it was like, y'all gonna see the stage, right? Y'all gonna see the stage, and y'all gonna walk up like if you're modeling, and you're gonna walk back. It sucks though because my brother actually got to do some of the classes and he got paid for it. I think the prices went up when we wanted to do it, because I wanted to do it, and it was gonna help you with how to do makeup, or they were gonna put makeup on you, help you with photography if you ever did make it, to this and that. I remember my sister went up there and she acted like a regular girl, but I think she was shy. And they were like, for the guys, you could just do this or that, because you know it's a little different for guys for model. And I remember, I went up there, and I was like, I can't think of who I wanted to think of, because they're like, you can act like a favorite celebrity. That right there gave me the idea of, oh yeah, I can act like anybody, right? I went up there, and it sucks if this is on podcast, but if you're watching the YouTube video, I did the whole The Rock type walk. I went out there, and it was like my turn. I think I was the last one. It was like last but not least, so y'all about to get this show today. So I went up there, and I did the whole Rock move, and I was just acting all big and bulky and this and that. And I took the whole this and that, and I was like, yeah, y'all see me. And then it was like, when you went up there, you had to say where you were from, and something you like to do or something. And I went up there and I messed it up because I went up there and like you're supposed to say where you live at. And that's what I'm hoping my mom would like think. I went up there, my sis did it right. But me, I didn't think that out. Why'd she say Apple Valley? Wrong place. I went up there, I said I'm from Oxnard, this and that, I represent them, blah blah blah. And then I said I like doing this and that. Then I flew off that stage. I walked back, I was like, that's how you do it. I don't know why. I just had that real like big cocky this and that, and then that's like from right then and there, everybody did the whole, is that your brother? Because I think this is gonna be fitted for him. And even then, my mom was like doing the whole embarrassment from what she said, because even like some of the moms was looking back going, is that your son? And my mom would be doing the, no, that's not my son today. And she was embarrassed, but I remember, because then the lady was talking to us and she was like, it'd be like this much. It was like past $100. My mom was like, ha ha, psych. And she was like, we ain't got the money, because the thing was we just moved, so we didn't really have a lot of money after all that big move. So it was like, ooh, you know. So she was like, it's this much. She's like, but it would be so great to have you kids in it, or if y'all were to become actors in the real world or down the road, because, you know, let's say y'all was to go through this whole program or whatever, y'all would have probably been selected, because you know how many people want kids like you, or people that are like biracial or this and that. Like, they don't want another white person, they don't want just another black person. They want somebody who can be biracial so they can play multiple roles if they have to. I was like, Mom, let's do it. Yeah, it didn't happen either. So all of my like dreams of me wanting to do it, and it's crazy because I'm still pursuing it. Which you said I have ambition. I know, thank you. I actually had to look that word up because y'all be using big college words, and I'm like, I'm in the military, I'm dumb. Whoa, thanks, and all that stuff. But I think that's really what started the root, and then it was me trying out for plays, and then like, it was like a rekindling. When you took me to the play, I think that's what rekindled the fire to, this is your passion. It did one of those, like, when I went to Love Star Free, I was like, this is your passion. Come back to us, you know? So yeah, I think that's what it was. Hopefully I didn't make the story too long, because I didn't want to get past 45 minutes.
I think we're past it.
It's
Are we?
45:15, yeah.
So, I'm going to make it short now. And I'm going to ask each and one of y'all. Because for me, I can't really give y'all advice. I'm just saying. For me personally, I can't really give y'all advice. But I will say this. If you love doing what you love to do, right? If you're hearing this or whatever, right? Go out there and do what you love to do, right? Don't let, even if you just do it as a hobby, right? And you feel stressful or whatever, go out there and do it. Like, if you like making music but you don't actually want to make it big or whatever, then just do it as a hobby. As long as you can do what you love to do, that's all that matters. Even if COVID was to happen again, or another pandemic was to happen, right? And you can't do your favorite job or something, still find videos or find something that inspires you to keep you going to doing stuff, right? So, I don't know. I should think, what's my next podcast? Anyways,
That's great advice.
that's, I know, right?
Yeah, thank you
I'm
for
such a great artist. But with y'all two, before we end this podcast, what would y'all have advice for anything? It could be, I mean, it could be for upcoming artists, or it could be for any hobby they want to be. Like, I want to be a Walmart employee. Which, good luck with that, but I mean, you'll get the job, but that sounds boring.
Wait, what was the question?
What advice do you
What
have?
advice? Okay, okay. Do you have any off top?
Nope.
Advice for anybody in the whole, anybody or people looking to get involved in art?
I mean, yeah, we'll just say anybody getting involved into art. You know what's crazy? You said that last time, and then as soon as this was over, you was like, oh, I did have a I was too late now, though. But you would still say it, though. He would still say it, though. And then I'd be like, that was, why you didn't just say that in my YouTube video? Because I didn't think about it then.
Well, do you have any advice?
Do you have any first?
Well, he actually stole my advice. That's the advice I would give.
You know, I just know her so much. I know my
Probably
family.
the advice I gave the last time.
So you're saying Lamont stole your advice?
Yeah.
Wow. Like, I'm going to remember that last time, though.
Advice.
Like, you know, the question that I wanted to ask. Like, do you have any advice for any young actors or anybody that wants to get into it?
Yeah.
Or anyone that wants to get into music?
Okay. I do. Well, I do. I also don't feel like I'm really in a position to give advice. But since you asked.
You guys have a bit more experience in theater and all that stuff. Because remember, I was the nut every time. You know.
But here you are making a lot of stuff all the time. Making plenty of artworks. I would say do, like, whether it's for a hobby or for pursuing it, just do what sounds genuinely fun and not what, like, in theory sounds fun. Like, I think I used to think a lot of, like, different things sounded fun because I felt like I like they had to seem like fun, because it was like, if I want to be involved in theater, it's going to look like this and I have to want that if I want to do this. But I think with time I became a little more honest with myself about, like, there's some things that are not interesting to me, but there are some things that are, and if I focus my energy on the things that are, I'll learn more about what I really care about and what interests me. So I think do the things, like, be really specific and honest about what sounds fun and enjoyable, and, like, you could actually do it for a lot of time, all day, every day, or whatever. And it's okay if that ends up being not what you thought. Like, it's okay if prepping, like, a monologue doesn't actually sound fun. But there are other ways to be involved that might sound really fulfilling. And also get involved in a community. Like, get to know people, show up for other people's shows, show up for other people's workshops, and support other people and build relationships. I think that's the main thing, so that then people know you and you know people, you have a sense of place, you know how to support others, you know how to be a part of a team. And then when things come up and opportunities come up and other people know what you're interested in and who you are, then you become somebody who people call, which is a really special thing to do that there's no shortcut to. It just takes time and caring for other people and engaging and connecting with your community. That's my advice.
I second that. Showing up.
Showing up?
Show up. Wait, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say my advice was seconded by Mickey Vale, which is really a stamp of approval.
I think it was actually my advice.
What?
That you stole
How
from
was
me.
Pharaoh,
It's important.
why did you steal Mickey's advice?
It's important to show up and show up for other people.
Yeah.
Because then you're top of the mind when they need something. They're like, oh, I'm gonna call on Lamont because I know that he does this thing. If they don't know, if they don't know what you do, then they can't call on you.
Which is another nice topic that we could have covered, but I'll make it real fast. Is the whole support. Like, people know I support other YouTubers. Like, I support my friends. I support people if they want to start doing merch and this and that, right? But don't expect me to buy every one of your products if you don't support me in return, or you don't watch my videos or this and that. Because I'm going to support you, but it's a one-time type deal. If I see you support me, I'm going to continuously support you. Like, I do, me and the one friend that lives in California, or lives in Fort Irwin, California. He does YouTube too, but he does other stuff. And I am trying to build a website and all this stuff, right? But it's a whole this and that. But I support him, he supports me, so I'll always support him all the way. Compared to, like, someone goes, yeah, I followed you, but don't not watch one video. I watch all of your videos, but as soon as you start mentioning, I have this merch and I would like for y'all to buy it, I'm not gonna buy the merch. I support you because of your channel. You supported me by following me back, which I have noticed. But have you actually seen my videos? See, you gotta have that great mindset, you know. I'm the greatest actor of them all.
There was one thing that I want to add also, because you're talking about show up, and I feel like being reliable, like show up on time, show up prepared, show up having done a lot of work to make the most of your time with other people.
Yeah, that's super important. Reliability is important. There's, for example, I know we were making this short, but
Here we go. You
But
know what?
here we
We
go.
don't really have advice, but actually, I have a fourth
But-
bit of advice that I'd like to give other people.
I was talking to a friend. We were having an event, and Laura, but we book caterers for the event, and we were looking for a caterer, and my friend was throwing names out there, and I told her that I need to know that. I said, do you know if these people are reliable? That's the most important thing to me. Being reliable and knowing that they're going to show up on time and handle their business professionally
especially nowadays.
is more important to me really than how their food tastes. I mean, you want both. You want it to be
Yeah.
both. But if somebody has the greatest food, the greatest product, but they
Don't
can't
ever
be,
show up,
they're not dependable. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't help. That doesn't
Like,
help me.
You, especially if you, and the ones that I hate, and sometimes I do it too, is the whole like you promote it and you're like, this and this will be here, and I plan on doing this, this, and this, and these venues might be here, and this and that, right? And then it's like closer to the day, and it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I had to cancel. I'm sorry. Well,
Yeah.
I already told half the people. Like, I feel like some celebrities, like actual big stars, probably go through stuff like that. Like, they get told, oh, you know, something like, oh, this venue's coming to your little concert or whatever, and then it's like, I don't know where you get this off-brand something, and it's like, what is this? Well, they don't. The customers or the fans will never know, probably, because if you're a big star, they won't let you know. But like, you know, sometimes y'all have these strict rules, but I know what you're saying. Because nowadays, like some people, if you're real and you really mean business, then that's what happens. Like I've always heard all these I've watched some YouTubes or this and that where people have said that, where they were like, some people would say something but never keep their word, to where others will contact you and be like, I'll stay in touch with you, I think we'll be a great this and that, I can be your producer, you'll be the great artist or whatever. And then they'd actually hit them up the next day, hey, did you have any music in mind out of this and that? And if you show the artist or the producer or this or the cameraman or this or that, they're gonna see that and they'll go, this person's really for real, I got you, I'll come down, I'll slide, and
Yeah, that's
This and that.
important.
so
That's all I got.
That's all I got, and they're all things that I'm working on still. You know.
So
Good
with that
things.
being said, I have actually, I think I do have a topic that I wanna discuss in my next podcast.
Okay.
But with that being said, if y'all wanna say goodbye and all that, y'all can say great
Goodbye and all that.
Bye. Thank you, Lamont.